If you're seeing this video pop up on your feed right now, it means you are ready to start your business, start making money, start running Facebook ads, and be free. I remember back like this almost 5 years ago. We're getting to 5 years when I had that feeling. I was making $12 an hour working at an ice rink. And I remember just feeling like this is beneath me. This sucks. I'd worked so many jobs. And I just remember one day I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I heard some guys making money pressure washing things. So I just went out, immediately bought a pressure washer and started knocking doors the next day. Started making money pretty much right away. It was kind of a fluke. I landed my third door ever that I knocked, started making money. And then what do you know? COVID hit, things got weird. And so the business kind of died down for a bit. And then eventually though, I was able to start running Facebook ads and brought everything back. So I was able to, spend $1 on ads, make $3 back. Right. And so then nowadays, we're using the same system, spending $40 a day, making $500, $1,000 per day back. And I've been doing a bunch of calls with guys this week, guys looking to, scale with software or, get some extra help or whatever. And a common theme that I'm seeing is a lot of people are still, they don't feel that they're ready and they don't feel that they know what they're doing. And that's true. You don't know anything. You don't know what you're doing, but that's fine. Like, you're never going to know until you start doing it. Like, when I started my business, I had no business going up to that lady's house and knocking her door. I had no business at all. I'd run the pressure washer at my dad's house like the night before. I cleaned off his sidewalk and part of his driveway, figured out how a pressure washer works. But, plot twist, it's not that hard to literally do almost anything. It's not that hard. I'm like going to school for 4 or 5 years, or college. I mean, obviously we've been in school for 15 years or some shit. I don't know. But it taught me that none of this stuff is hard to do or worth knowing or relevant to what we need to know now. Like, they literally teach you nothing in school. You hear my son in the background. That's another point. You're never going to be ready to start making content. Something's always going to pop up. Odin, it's okay. There's always going to be something that's holding you back, right? And your brain is going to be like, oh, I can't do this because I have to do this. I have to watch my son. I almost didn't make this video because all these things they start to pile up, right? But you have to realize, Odin, baby, it's okay. All right, sorry about that. I had to take care of the kid, give him to his mom. And so where were we, guys? So going back to, quitting my job and doing that first lady's house, and doing great things. So nothing great was ever done the first time. You got to realize that no matter what it is you're going to do, you're going to suck at it. You're not going to be good. And that's fair. You've never done it before. And so if you've never done something before, why not start now? Right? So right now, one of the things that I'm also working on is this year I'm going to buy some land, going to build a house on it. The house, that may or may not happen this year. And for the last few years, I've had the same thought. I'm like, oh, can't quite do it this year. I'm not ready. Maybe next year. And this year, I'm just like, no, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to make this happen. And so I've been calling people. I've been driving out. I've been sending out handwritten letters to people with land. And I've actually gotten some traction. I got some people that they're looking to sell their land. And a really cool interaction just popped up. I'm actually going to probably head over there after this, take a look at this land. Do I have the money to buy this land? Not like in physical possession, but there's banks, there's credit, there's ways that you can get money. And also, with a situation like this, you can talk to the seller. You can get money, the seller financing, all this sort of stuff. And whether or not this deal goes through or not, whether or not I buy this piece of property, the point is, I have very little business trying to buy a piece of land right now. But who cares? I'm never going to be ready. I've realized that about myself. Whether it's this year, next year, you're never going to be ready. And so whatever it is you do, for me, I teach a lot of people about how to start a business doing roof cleaning, pressure washing, gutter cleaning, all that sort of stuff, any sort of home service business. And the biggest thing I see is Facebook ads. People are worried they don't have the right content. They don't have enough shots. They don't have enough pictures of their work, their business. None of that shit matters, guys. Like, when I was running my first ads, I had 3 pictures of my business. Yeah, now I have thousands, and it's easier for me to run ads and make money with my business, right? But if you don't have that, that's totally fine. You're gonna have to start somewhere. So the point is, one of the classic sayings, the best proverbs of all time, the Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. And it's a great thought, because there's so many things in life where our brains are like, if I'd only done this sooner, if I only done this last year, if I did this, then I'd be so much further along now. Like even if I'd started making videos longer, much more, longer time ago. I need some more coffee. If I'd only started my business sooner, if I'd only started this, that. And these things, they creep up, and it's, you have to realize that you're never going to be ready. And that's the beautiful thing about this life. Nothing is really out of your grasp. And I remember listening to Naval Ravikant's podcast. He had a 3-hour stint on, how to get rich. And it's a lot of it's more philosophical. It's more about economics and things. And it was really interesting. He was saying too, a really great point that he brought up is because he runs like multi-million-dollar investment funds and all this sort of stuff. He's got, more money than he ever needs. And then he was saying though that working with CEOs and stuff, people who run multi-million-dollar corporations or multi-million-dollar businesses, that they work just as hard. They work hard, but he's like, I bet that a sandwich shop or a restaurant shop owner down the street works just as hard, right? Like the work is the same. They're both working long hours. They're both stressed. Who do you think is making more money though? So, and this is something that I have been thinking a lot about recently. Obviously the business we are in, home service, is a great business. You can make 10K, 20K per month really relatively quickly. That's awesome. But obviously there are many more things we want to do besides that. And so I look at this business as a great springboard into other areas of life. It's a great founding ground where you learn the business practices. You learn how to run ads. You learn how to get customers. You learn how to do marketing. You learn all this stuff. It's great. And you can make very good money on your own time. I can do whatever the fuck I want any day of the week. Wake up, do whatever I want. And even if it's things that I don't want to do, I convince myself that I want to do them because this is the right thing to do. Speaking of which, what time is it? Yeah, we're good. I got a meeting in a few minutes. Gonna see if this guy wants, software to scale his business. If you guys are looking for that as well, that'll be linked down below. Not gonna get into that in this video, but yeah. So the whole thing about this video, and it doesn't matter what it is you're trying to do. You could be trying to go to the gym. You could be trying to buy a house. You could be trying to start a business, quit your job, whatever that is. You're not gonna be ready. Might as well start doing it now, because you're gonna be so much farther along than you ever would have dreamed. Because if I hadn't started this business, I don't know where I would be. I would be working minimum wage still, doing some fucking bullshit. I mean, not minimum wage. I had a college, and then I was getting my college degree. I got my college degree, so I'm probably would be making some decent money right now. But I just remember that feeling like none of the work that I was doing was a bad thing. I've worked, retail, tire shops, fishing in Alaska. None of the work was like bad. It was just looking at the people that I was working with and seeing 30, 40, 45 years old, like in these same jobs. And they're not really much further along than I was. And I could just see it. Like if I stay at this place, if I stay at this tire shop, if I stay at this store, I'm going to become just like these people. In 20 years is going to go by and nothing's going to change about my life. Maybe I'm making a bit more money. Maybe I'm able to get a house, but I'm not going to be free. I'm not going to be able to fulfill my potential. And that's what each and every one of you watching this video, you're really fighting with your own potential, and your brain wants to keep you safe. It wants to keep you from striking out and potentially failing. But who gives a fuck? Of course you're going to fail. Like that's a good thing. You look at, that's a learning lesson. Almost every single failure that's happened in my life, I've been able to flip it around and make something good out of it. And maybe you don't even think about that at the time. You're like, there's obviously things in my life that, I wish hadn't happened. I wish I hadn't done this or that. But if you really take a step back, like, okay, well, maybe it's impossible to know, right? Like I got into, on my motorcycle, I've had a motorcycle, pretty gnarly little accident and such. And like, that sucked. But what if I hadn't had that accident? And then 2 months later, I was like driving stupid and then was killed. And then, my son wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here with my family. We have no fucking idea what we're doing here on this planet. So the best thing we could do is just attack each and every day, following your potential, following your voice, following your gut. It will lead you, and it will tell you what you should be doing. If at any moment throughout the day you're doing something like, fuck this, like you can feel it. It's more of a feeling in your deep within you. And the second you start listening to that voice and you actually start doing what it tells you, things are going to be uncertain. Like you're going to have, and I know everyone says like, oh, start your own business. You're going to be your own boss, be free. It's awesome, and it is awesome, and I love it, and I would never do anything else. But it is hard. It is something that you have to constantly, every single day, you have to battle that voice. You have to battle the other inner voice that's like, oh, are you doing the right thing? What if, excuse me, you had stayed and done the safe thing, comfort? Because comfort is what we're all hardwired into. Every single one of us. That's why we stay at the jobs. That's why we try and go to school and get all these safe things, because it's comfortable. It's what we humans have. That's how we've survived for thousands, millions of years. Because another thing Naval talked about is pessimism is a stupid computer. ADHD. He talked about how pessimism is an inherent trait. It's, two people are walking in the woods thousands of years ago, and one person hears a sound. Sorry, my computer, like, every time I touch the freaking mouse, it lights up. It's super distracting. Two people are walking in the woods, and they both hear a sound in the woods. One person's like, I'm sure it's fine. It's probably just a bird. And one person's like, nah, that could be a tiger. I'm out of here. And that person would genetically be predispositioned to survive, because if it was a tiger, the optimist would have been eaten. So optimism is not an inherent trait in many people. So if you have that trait, cultivate it, because everything's going to be fine. Everything nowadays, and that was thousands of years ago. Nowadays, we don't have that problem. There's very, very few situations where we don't have some semblance of normalcy. Like, obviously, if you're traveling in the third world, or you're in the woods, or wherever, even places in America that you probably shouldn't be, dangerous spots. But if you use your head most of the time, like, you're gonna be fine. Like, nothing bad is really relatively gonna happen to you. So there's times when pessimism will help you out. Like, hey, maybe I should look both ways. Maybe because a car might fucking smash into me. But there's times where, like, unbridled optimism is just going to be the way forward in almost any endeavor of your life, right? Like, there's nothing bad that's going to happen from you starting a business, from you running a Facebook ad, from you trying to buy a house, talking to a person, knocking a door, like, hey, are you looking to sell your house? Hey, are you looking to get your gutters cleaned? There's nothing bad that's going to happen to that. Yeah, there's going to be 99% of the time, something bad is going to happen. Like, not bad. Like, it's going to be the person's going to say, no, we had our gutters cleaned last week. No, we're not looking to sell a house. And that's like 99% of the time. But you only need one time to become successful. For buying a house, buying land, I just need to find one single person that's like, yeah, I have some land. Like, do you want to buy it? Like, get you a price on it. That's all. You just need one person. And same with gutters, with roofs. Obviously, you need quite a few more leads. Like, we need, at least 3 jobs a day for me and my guys. But once you get the system down, you're like, okay, I need to do this, and that. I need to run this ad at this many dollars per day. I need to knock this many doors. I need to have this on my website. You start to learn exactly what happens. And with that one single win that you're going to get from whatever it is you're trying to do, when you get that one single win, that gives you momentum. It gives you the ability to keep going. It tells your brain, it assures you that you're doing the right thing. And just sometimes you are just one job away from changing your life. When you get, like, I remember when I was back, let's go back to the story when I first started. I had been knocking a ton of doors, leaving flyers, all that sort of stuff, and it hadn't been working for quite a few days. And I actually gave up for a little bit. Because I was moving between houses, and I wasn't at the same place. So until I got a call a week or two later, like, hey, I got one of your flyers, we're looking to sell, can you come clean our driveway? And that $300 from that job completely changed the trajectory. I started the business back up. And like I said, it was COVID. It was a weird time. So who fucking knows what was going on? And that taught me, though, that there was still money out there, despite COVID, despite all this negativity in the fucking news, in social media. That's what you really got to be battling every single day, is all this shit is trying to, like, tell you all this negativity, all this bad things that's going on, bad things that are going to happen. But none of it's really real. It's not really, that's not the truth. Step outside and you walk around in the woods, in nature. You see the ocean, the waves hitting the shore, walking around the mountains. Everything's fine. Everything's fine when you're outside in nature. Have you ever noticed that? It's only when we turn on our screens, these TV, when we listen to other negative people, that's when shit becomes harder in our life. But the second we forget about all that shit and you focus on you, yourself, the voice inside of you, that's when everything changes. That's when you can make your life happen. So that's pretty much it for today's topic. If you guys have any questions, you want to, obviously scale your business, home service, all that sort of stuff. That's going to be down below. But see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to the Spencer Clay Show. That's all for now. See you in the next episode. Peace.